Welcome to another Splatoon 2 video on the channel today. Of course, the 3.0 update went live early in the morning for me. It was evening for you guys in North America, but it did add Cali into Octo Canyon at 10 to kill outpost. And what I have been doing for literally the past 2 hours is keep pressing A and literally just getting all of the dialogue from Calais and Marie, and trust me, there is a lot of new dialogue from Calais and Marie, and I think some of it might be Easter eggs and hints towards Octo expansion. So what we'll be doing in this video is pretty much going through all of the pieces of dialogue that I have made note of. There could be even more dialogue related to the Octo expansion that I haven't found yet, and if there is, then if I do find any more Octo expansion related dialogue, then I will cover it within another video. But pretty much when you first talk to Callie and Marie says the following: I got to hang out here until Gramps and Agent 3 come back from whatever it is they're doing. Seriously, where did Gramps wander off to? I think this is definitely talking about the Octo expansion, and I think this confirms a theory that I have been coming up with in some of my Octo expansion videos, and that is the Octo expansion is the research trip that we heard about in the Sunken Scroll in the Splatoon 2 single player. Pretty much in that Sunken Scroll we learned that Captain Cuttlefish and Agent 3 went on a research trip, and I said in those videos that I think the Octo expansion is that research trip, and I think this confirms it. Now what is interesting about this is that Marie says I got to hang out here at 10 to kill outpost until they return. So does this confirm that Marie will not be appearing in the Octo expansion? Maybe she will be on the surface, and maybe she will be communicating through that telephone. This is a theory that I did come up with a few weeks ago when I did talk about that Easter egg, just because there is the same phone on the 10 to kill outpost on Captain Cuttlefish's cabin. You can see that same phone in Octo expansion trailer, and in that video I came up with a theory that maybe Marie or Calais could be communicating through that phone with Pearl and Marina, and maybe this is the case just because Marie, she has to hang out there at 10 to kill outpost until Captain Cuttlefish and Agent 3 return. So maybe it is Marie who is communicating from the surface down to Pearl and Marina. We have learned about this before, that Pearl and Marina will get communication from up above, and maybe they are getting communication from Marie. Now what about Calais? Does this mean that Calais will be appearing in the Octo expansion? Could this be a hint at when the Octo expansion takes place? If it is the research trip that Captain Cuttlefish and Agent 3 go on, then surely the Octo expansion will take place at the same time as the single player. Again, this is another theory that I have come up with in some of my recent videos as well, and some of you guys have come up with that same theory as well. So if that is the case, if the Octo expansion is set at the same time as the single player for Splatoon 2, then maybe that could be a reason why Callie could not be appearing in the Octo expansion, or maybe she could appear like as a enemy to what Agent 8 is doing and what the Squid Beat Splatoon and what Captain Cuttlefish and possibly Agent 3 are up to within the Octo expansion. But I'm kind of thinking, you know, it's kind of got me a little bit confused, just because Marie, obviously when you do talk to Marie with Callie standing next to her, that is after the events of the Splatoon 2 single player obviously, so maybe it isn't set at the same time as the single player. Maybe the research trip starts off in the single player, but when we start off in Octo expansion, maybe that is after the events of the single player. So maybe Calais will actually appear as Agent 1 and not as an enemy, not as brainwashed, like she isn't brainwashed from DJ Octavio. So yeah, I'm kind of a little bit confused at this moment in time. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. I was thinking that maybe it was set at the same time as the Splatoon 2 single player, but because Marie, she is talking to you after, that she is giving these voice lines after the events of the single player, it's kind of got me thinking otherwise now. I'm kind of a little bit unsure at when the Octo expansion is, taking place. Like what I said, maybe the research trip did start off in the single player, but when we start playing as Agent 8, that is after the events of the single player. I guess who knows at this point, but maybe Marie, you won't see her down below at the Deep Sea Metro. She will be above communicating with Pearl and Marina. And we got some more dialogue regarding Captain Cuttlefish. Apparently he is learning to rap. And basically Callie says, have you gotten any letters from Gramps lately? Marie says, it's been a good while since the last one, now that you mentioned it. And maybe that is because he is busy with what is happening with the Octo expansion. So maybe it is set after the events of the single player, but let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section below. Marie says, I'm excited to get to know more Octolings. Obviously this is a hint to the Octo expansion when Agent 8, obviously she is an Octoling, but she will be working for the Squidbeak Splatoon, so that is obviously referring to that. What we did get confirmation though is that Sheldon is an Agent 7, just because we got dialogue that Sheldon was invited to the Squidbeak Splatoon, but Sheldon turned down the invite just because, according to him, the technology team shouldn't mix with the field testers, which are obviously Agent 3, Agent 4 and soon to be Agent 8 within the Octo expansion. Also in the dialogue, Callie talked about the members of the Squidbeak Splatoon, how Marie, Agent 3, Agent 4 and of course her are now part of the Squidbeak Splatoon. Callie is Agent 1, Marie is Agent 2, and obviously Agent 3 is the hero within the first single player within the first game on the Wii U. Agent 4 is the hero within the single player within Splatoon 2. Now the next couple of things, I'm not sure whether they are references to the Octo expansion. They could be proven to be Octo expansion Easter eggs when it does come out, but I just thought I would include these couple of things in this video just in case they are. So Marie talked about Salmon Run, and pretty much the dialogue before was that Callie said this is how many golden eggs you have collected, and Marie says that's cool and all, but have you ever thought about where all those eggs end up? Pretty sketchy. So maybe the plot for the Octo expansion is that Mr. Grizz is helping out the Octarians by providing the golden eggs that we collect for him, and maybe this could be like the Octo expansion could be looking at the relationship between the Salmonids and the Octarians that we have learned about in interviews with the development team, notably the Garmer, who is the lead producer. Maybe this could be a hint to what we could be seeing in the Octo expansion, or it could just be a line about Salmon Run. Now the last one, I've never heard this before. I think this is brand new lore for the 3.0 update. So Marie says, have you heard the mystery of Mount Nantai? I heard a tiny pale shadow wriggles deep within the forest of Mount Nantai, and if you listen closely on a quiet night, you can hear an ear-splitting scream loud enough to shatter glass. Now could this be related to the scream that you do hear in the single player? Maybe it could be linked, but I've never heard this before. Maybe this could be related to the Octo expansion, and maybe this pale shadow figure could be the final boss, who knows. But Mount Nantai is apparently a location in Japan, so maybe that is just referring to that. Maybe it could be related to the Octo expansion, or maybe it could be a new stage for the multiplayer, or maybe it could be a new stage for the Salmon Run. But they're just all of the things that I made note of. I just thought they were interesting to talk about. Let me know your thoughts about everything that I've talked about in the comment section below. And yeah, I found this sort of stuff really interesting. That is pretty much it for this video. Do you think some of these are related to the Octo expansion? Do you think these are Octo expansion Easter eggs and hints? But yeah, I think it's up in the air, to be honest with you. I think some of them are, some of them aren't. Some of them could be proven to be later on down the line when Octo expansion does come out. But just thought I would include everything within this video and let you guys come up with your own conclusions. But I'm sure you guys will come up with some more theories based on the stuff that I did talk about in this video. But that is pretty much it for this video. And yeah, we'll see you next time.